Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your monthly reading for December 2023. This is for Aquarius and Aquarius rising. And if you're new to my channel, I do a traditional cult across spread. I also use astrology and my guides to help bring a lot more clarity, to get more specific and detailed with your reading, Aquarius. I do this because you know I love you. I want you to feel like it's a personal reading, as if we're here one-on-one, rather than a general spread. Lastly, I use astrology because it offers a lot more depth to your reading. So Aquarius, we made it. We made it to December. It has been a crazy, emotional year. It has been a year to remember. We had 4 eclipses. We went through Venus retrograde, which, by the way, is rare. It happens every 18 months. So it's not even happening next year. And it went retrograde not only in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships, or there could have been some activity around there, but it went retrograde during a time when all the other planets, like dominoes, started going retrograde. So it was a heavy retrograde period. We also had Saturn move into Pisces. That was a big thing, and that's going to be something that's going to be a thing for the next 2 years for y'all. I mean, we also had a preview of Pluto in Aquarius, Pluto moving into your sign. This is a big deal. It's going to move permanently into Aquarius 20 years, starting in January. So your life is changing in a big way. And we are going to talk about this. This is rare. So rare that Pluto changes into, like Pluto moving into Aquarius. Come on, 250 years. This has been a huge thing. Okay. So we're actually living through it. Like, our planet is living through this change, which is huge. So again, this is in your sign. This is in your sign. So you are definitely going to feel a lot more shifts. Okay. This year, we also had the changing of the nodes, the North Node moving into Aries, South Node moving into Libra. We had, you know, the series finale for Succession, which was a huge moment in time. For me, actually. But this month is actually really big. We have about 30 major aspects. Huge. I'm looking at the notes and I'm just like, okay, where do I even begin? Okay, there is Neptune is finally going direct, and Jupiter, the planet of good fortune, good luck, prosperity, wisdom, expansion, is going direct as well. So you will start feeling more of that energy of Jupiter. When Jupiter, we like to track Jupiter the most, right? And so when Jupiter is retrograde, you're only getting a little bit. It's like, you know, consider your cell phone at like 60% instead of 100%. And so now Jupiter is going direct in your 4th house. So if you haven't moved already, if you haven't made changes to home, if there hasn't been something going on at home, you will definitely feel it more starting at the end of this year. Okay. I think I mentioned in one of your readings, I'm picking up a lot of real estate, like buying real estate too for Aquarians. But any case, that is a big thing. And then Uranus, your ruling planet, one of your ruling planets, goes direct next month. So by next month, all the planets are direct. And actually, January, we kick off with a bang. It's very different from the other Januaries, the past few Januaries that we've had, where it was a little bit more slow moving. And then we move into your birthday season. And so really big time right now. December is a pivotal month. There's a lot happening this month. Mercury retrograde. Yep, Mercury retrograde happening this month. Keep that in mind. And we'll talk more about this. We'll talk more about everything that I've been talking about. If there's one thing that I want you to do right now is mark December 27th in your calendar. It is the best day of the month, okay? It's the luckiest day of the month when the sun does trine Jupiter. Another rare aspect. We're lucky to have it twice a year. One of the most auspicious aspects. And, you know, even next year, we only have it once. And so we'll talk more about this. If you are new to my channel, after I do your spread, stick around. I pull a lot more cards and I break it down week by week. We have a new moon in Sagittarius. I mean, we have so much going on. One of the biggest things for you, if you are here for career, Venus is moving into Scorpio. Ooh, in your 10th house of career. That's a big thing. So if you thought we were completely out of like Scorpio season, yes, we are, but now we have Venus moving into Scorpio. So with that said, let's get started, Aquarius. Let's see what's going on for you for December 2023. This is for Aquarius and Aquarius rising. And if you want to read for your moon and your Venus, you're absolutely welcome to, with Venus moving into, especially, if you are here for Korea, if you know your birth chart, I would recommend Venus if you want more insight in terms of career, but the 10th house is also public recognition. You may just really feel it now, really crave it now, but also receive it. There's like that intensity that Venus brings in Scorpio. So again, I am back. So sorry about that. My computer, the camera shuts off when my storage is full. And so I got to clear a lot of storage. That is going to be my New Year's resolution. Anyway, as I was saying, this is for Aquarius and Aquarius rising. And if you want to read for your moon and your Venus, I would actually read for your Venus if you want more insight on your career, or even like your, the way that you want to be perceived by the public, or, honors, achievements. But it really is, social status is part of the 10th house. But Venus and Scorpio will have a major impact, okay? It's going to be really big. There is an intensity to it. And, if you are in relationships and, are here for love, really like Venus and Scorpio is just known to bring a lot of sexual energy. Okay. And it really does heighten your intuition as well. We're going to talk about that more because you do have, with all this energy in Capricorn, it is your 12th house, okay, which is a subconscious, and the intuition lives there too. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started, Aquarius. See what's going on for you for December 2023. Now, Aquarius, like I said earlier, first let's say that let's introduce my little friend. We have a co-star here, and we've just come back from a WALK, so she is always excited to be in Aquarius readings, knowing that I am one too. The other thing is I will pull I'll likely pull some clarifiers for this one because it is such a big month. There's so much happening. And Aquarius, you're good. Okay, you're good. Yeah, you and okay. Maybe that honking is a sign to the Knight of Cups came up. So I really love this for you. I think that they're, speaking of Venus being retrograde in Leo for so long, which was your 7th house of partnerships and relationships. But hey, this is, the Knight in Shining Armor. This is Mr. Romance. This is someone who's like a big dreamer too. I really like this Knight. But it's also, remember, Knights are taking action. So, just don't dream, take action for the things that you want. And then again, with all this Sagittarius energy that's happening, it is your 11th house of your hopes and wishes, okay? One big thing is we do have a new moon in Sagittarius. And so there is a sense of you really just going after that thing that you want, okay? It can be partnerships, it can be relationships, but there is also, because you can see him, extending the cup, okay? So he does really want to share the cup with someone. And remember, when I say partnerships and relationships, it can be like work-related, it can be career-related, but it can also be like love and romance. But it seems like you've entered it, okay? Now, if you haven't, it's, the Knight of Cups just wants to fill his cup. He just wants to be emotionally fulfilled. It does not matter. Like, he wants, to have that feeling, that feel good energy. And, I really love that about him. He is someone who is, the key word here is do. Like, he does, even though he is a dreamer, like I said earlier, it's really going after it now. There is also a sense of like self-worth, self-value, even a sense of pride for, how far you have come. If you think about where you were at January 2023. Think about where you are now. So be, feel really good about that. But again, there is a sense of like really nice movement toward your passions. And, even intuition is going to be a big thing for you, especially looking at your spread and just really going within this month. But hey, you got the Queen of Wands in the heart of your spread. Aquarius, this is, remember, this is not a weekly reading. This is a monthly reading. You got the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands, she is the most charismatic queen. She is the most she's so compelling. She's, there's so much magic around her. And she is a type of queen. Like I say it all the time. Think of like, who is it? Like Jennifer Aniston, right? Or Ellen. Or I'm trying to think of these Aquarians. Any of these, big stars walk into a room, they can get whatever they want, right? Just like the Queen of Wands. She does have that power. She has that power to attract. And I really love this for you. Communication, by the way, is going to be really key if I haven't mentioned it already this month, especially with Mercury in Capricorn, especially with Mercury going retrograde. So keep that in mind. And the only reason I bring that up is because the North Node did move into into Aries over the summer, okay? And that is your third house. So there is a sense of, with that, Queen of Wands is Aries, that's why I bring it up. But with that happening during Venus in Scorpio, remember, this is really big. It's almost like you moving into a place where you will be really compelling. Where, remember, Venus in Scorpio is fame too for you, for your 10th house. You will get a lot of recognition, and there's almost like there is a sense of something that you've worked toward that to fulfill you emotionally, that you're really just going to shine this month, and you really will get the things that you want. There is also, I'm going to point something out here. You do see the sunflower in her hand, and it does have the full powers of the sun, okay, which is vitality, it's growth, it's, opportunities. And you see the sunflowers actually in her throne too. All the same sunflowers that you see in the actual sun card. And so I love this for you. One thing I'm going to point out, because it is coming through strong, is a black cat. There is two things here. It's just like being really comfortable with your shadow side and connecting with that. There is a level of that may happen this month, especially with all this activity in your 12th house of the subconscious. But there's also something that I want to mention is that, and that represents her. She's like in touch with her, shadow side. Like that's how cool she is. But you do see the pyramids over here, right? And so if you think, I don't know if you're into like Egyptology or if you really quickly, if you think about that time, cats were worshipped. So there is a sense of you just being very charismatic, you being very compelling, you getting everything you want, you having a lot. Did I say it a lot? Team Aquarius, I said it a lot in your last week. You having a lot of sway and swagger, sway and swagger. Has anyone that, I love that, sway and swagger. That should be the name of a band or something. And you may start a band this month. But this is really great. You have two queens here. But before we get there, you did get the 401s, okay, in your challenge area. So it could be something you may have to pay attention to regarding home or even relationships. There is something there. It feels like a big squeeze, okay, like in terms of like, okay, it's like something that you want, like a milestone when it comes to like domestic matters or work related. Ones are not only creativity and your passions, but work related as well. And remember, you have the Queen of Wands here. Now both of these cards are Aries cards, so that's why I say really communicate, really make sure you communicate. It looks like you are elevating and ascending on this bigger platform anyway, in terms of like being more influential, which is really great. But with the 401s here, it's almost like there could be something to pay attention to this month. But there's almost something like that you really, 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 really want. You have to like really, 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 really work for it. Again, there is going to be a lot of like reassessing things as well with Mercury retrograde. But there is that new moon in your in Sagittarius that's kicking off this 6 month cycle for you. And I'm going to explain why this new moon in Sagittarius is very different from all the other new moons that we've recently had. It's really powerful. It's really powerful. Okay. But just keep that in mind. There could be also something this month where you may hear some news about some things that you really wanted that doesn't pan out yet, right? And that's the key word, yet, okay? Because you do have, look at the rest of your spread, okay? So you do have the Queen of Cups, which is amazing. Queen of Cups is, very interesting that the Queen of Cups came up. Not only is she Cancer, and we do have a full moon in Cancer at the end of the month, which again I'm going to talk more about when I break this down. But it really is, and that is your sixth house. Okay, so everyday activities. It's also work related. So a lot of work energy happening here, by the way, especially with Venus and Scorpio. You will feel it. But there is a sense of you just this month. It's like that intuition energy is the biggest thing that's coming through. Is like heightened intuition, really being in touch with their intuition. And as you know, that is something that is, really nice when you are in touch with your intuitive side, when you do let your intuition guide you, when you are in touch with your higher self. You really just, there is no stress, there is nothing to worry about. You do see like all those like little winks from the universe, right? When you are very into like like the 1111s, like you would see that, right? Like even on your like clock on your microwave or whatever, like those little things, like you pay attention to a lot of those things. And it seems like that's going to be like a big thing here. You can even see her, by the way, just look at her gaze at her cup here, just like that intense gaze. Like she is highly intuitive, but also highly loving. She is the most loving queen. And so, it's really like we're talking super conscious here now. And so there is like the sense of you just really wanting that. Okay. A lot of self-love as well. A lot of recognizing that. And I do believe that was a thing for you again in your last reading, but you did get the Six of Swords in the root of your spread. So there you go. A lot of like really going deep and rooting things and moving forward. And it seems like that's what you want. Interestingly enough, this card is attributed to Mercury in Aquarius. So this is an Aquarius card, and it's a great card. It's moving forward. It's moving forward from, look at my finger on the turbulent waters, and look at them. It's like you being in this mental space where it's like your mindset, it's like now moving toward like the Maldives, like paradise, like Shangri-La. I love this for you. So it's recognizing the things that have been holding you back and maybe even challenges, and now just like blazing forward. Okay. Especially mentally, it just being in this better like mindset as for December. I'm not surprised with, look at your entire spread. This is absolutely amazing here, because also look at your future. You have the Nine of Pentacles. And so everything that you've been working hard toward, it looks like you're going to get a lot of attention this month, okay? And be recognized for sure, with the Queen of Wands in, the heart of your spread. But you also have the Nine of Pentacles in your future, and look at her. This is like not only abundance, especially with money and wealth. And like I said, money's going to be a big thing for you for December, and moving into like January with Saturn and Pisces in your second house of like income, which is a big thing. But the other thing is, this card is actually attributed to Venus and Virgo. You see the symbol of Venus all over her gown. And so Venus and Virgo, that is your eighth house of other people's money. So you see how money is like a big thing. It's going to be something that you'll just feel a lot of movement activity in regard to money, but wealth as well. And when I say wealth, think about wealth in all areas of your life. Okay, it really is more of like this financial freedom that's coming with this card, and like independence. There's a lot of self-sufficiency energy. She's earned her spot here. Like she worked hard. you know, the Nine of Pentacles comes after the Eight of Pentacles, the card of like working really hard, eyes on the prize, going toward your legacy. And now look at all this abundance and just royalness that is from this card. And, you know, speaking of self-sufficiency, I'm going to point something out here. You see the snail at the bottom of the card. Snails carry their own home. I mean, like, this is really great because, you know, Aquarians love that sense of freedom, and this is just feeling free, not stressing about anything. You're moving into this place of abundance. It's very nice for you. There is a lot of like, you know, let's do that. Yeah, and then you will possibly have some sort of well, the bigger message coming through is that there is something that you may have a new offer, like a new job offer. There may be something that comes through and like regarding money or career. There could be something that you're doing, and there also could be something that you may decide, like, okay, I have to like put a lot more focus on one thing other than another thing this month, okay? Because you also got the Two of Pentacles in your future, but that is again like really going deep and having those moments to really think about that because you do want to bring that balance in your life. But I mean, you have two Pentacle cards in your future. There is what I was going to say, like a lot of, you know, sexual energy here too. But that comes with Venus and Scorpio. So there's, you know, Venus and Scorpio, again, I'll talk about it later, but it really is like intensity, like passions, and again, sexual energy, like really like buttons popping off of clothes, like that kind of like, if you're here for that, okay? Let's get to your stuff, Aquarius. If you like this reading, Aquarius, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, let me know what's going on. And tell me what your year's been like. Oh my gosh, I want to know what Scorpio season was like for y'all. It was really intense for me. It was genuinely like the hardest weeks. I was like, oh my, like work was like really tough. But also I'm Gemini rising too, and so that made it doubly tough because that was my 6th house of work. So, you know, all the Scorpios, like Scorpios, your 10th house. So it was like career and work, and there was all that pressure. And so anyway, let's get to your stuff. You are definitely going to be in a place where you're in your head a lot. You are going to be in your head. There is going to be something that may happen this month where you are definitely going to have to really think about it. And we're going to talk about this, but let's go ahead and get started. You did get the Fool, okay? So you got the Fool, which is really great. We already know this, all right? We already know this, that you are starting this new, you know, cycle in your life, this new journey. I mean, this is the Fool, right? So, but remember what I said. When you dream about things, take action toward it too, all right? Especially with the Fool here. You know, this card 0, okay? So what is 0? 0 is nothing, but it's nothing. Nothing is everything. So this is unlimited possibilities. There's so much potential here, but it's like taking that leap, right? Taking that leap, and just being comfortable with that, and knowing that, you know, having that full confidence that things are going to work out for you, and not being in your head too much. It seems like you may be, and I wouldn't be surprised, especially with all this Capricorn energy. But again, just knowing that everything's going to be, you know, absolutely amazing for you, and really just knowing that there is nothing that you see okay, so I'm going to show you something. You see him standing on the edge of the cliff, and he's not even looking down. I mean, when I talk about like confidence, this is confidence. Confidence is taking risks. So a lot of y'all may be doing that this month, okay? In some area of your life, I mean, this is, you know, the 0 card, right? So, but it's also not looking back. It's moving forward and not looking back, okay? And this is just having, you know, not questioning anything, not being in your head too much. I mean, that's what faith is, taking that leap, right? And so keep that in mind. You do see the full abundance of the sun here. As I mentioned, you have it mirrored here with the Queen of Wands in the heart of your spread. So I love this for you. And it's so like, huge for you because this card is, attributed to Uranus, which is your ruling planet. So a lot of Aquarius energy in the Fool card. All right. So you did get the 8 of Swords. Okay. So yeah, you are going to be in your head. You are going to be in your head. And again, I'm not surprised because remember, Capricorn is your 12th house. That is the subconscious. Okay. It is the subconscious and it's going really deep, unrooting things. The 12th house is also like facing fears. It's also, self-sabotage energy lives in the 12th house as well. So there could be something that happens this month where it's almost like, well, for some Aquarians, it's going to be like, okay, I never want to go through that experience again. It really was like, I felt like I wasn't in the right headspace. I feel like that I was, there could have been like, I was sabotaging myself because I was afraid of this, but now it's like unrooting it and being comfortable. Remember, it's that confidence energy moving forward. You can even see in this card, her feet are free. Okay. You can walk out of this anytime you want, but it seems like there is going to be something that happens that it's almost like it empowers you, to move forward because you know that you're in your head a lot, or you unroot something that is going to really, like break those chains. Okay. So again, very empowering month for you, it seems. You got the 9 of Swords. Now, where the 9 of Swords falls in your staff, it's interesting because, again, it is saying, I don't want to look back anymore. I don't want to, I want to move forward from all these things that I have unlocked and all these things that, I've confronted my, so those shadow parts of me, those parts of me that I don't want the public to see, the things that that I'm like afraid of, even like, getting in touch with. But it seems like you want to move past that. And so that's really great. Remember, do is like the key word, and it's all about that taking action. And so I really love that for you. It's something that is going to be really pivotal, and it is going to be key because you see, you did get the 5 of Cups in your final outcome. All right. So remember what I said. It's all about moving forward. It's all about going forward. Okay. It doesn't matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Thank you, Confucius. Now, you see, with the 5 of Cups here, he is looking back at the past. He is looking at the spilled cups. I always make the distinction. There is a huge difference between the past and history. It is time to make the past history and pick up these 2 cups, cross the bridge, go home, put on The Simpsons, do what you do, Aquarius, do what you do. Watch Succession. I don't know. I like that show. I'm sad it's over. But even still, hey, this is just saying there is going to be a moment where you may get stuck on the past. I have to remind you, this is almost par of course for you. With Mercury retrograding in Capricorn and then Sagittarius, it is going to be something where you do think about a lot of things from the past. Retrogrades are a window to the past, especially Mercury retrograde, right? And so there could be something that you really get stuck on. You're like, oh, I wish that didn't happen. Oh, I wish that, there is an element of sorrow with this card. But I'm going to show you something, Aquarius. You see the spilled cups, right? You see all that wine spilled from the cups. Now take a closer look at the cups. What is that green stuff spilling out? I don't know what it is. Do you know what it is? I don't know what it is. And that is the whole point. Nobody knows what it is. It is saying, how do you even know that was good for you? How do you know that wasn't poison? How do you know that wasn't something that you were allergic to? Like, how do you know this was actually good for you at all? And so you have to get in that mindset where you have that confidence that everything's going to work out for you, okay? But don't let your past dictate your future. Do not let your past dictate your present, okay? It's all about moving forward, okay? Now, clarifier. Yeah, it is going to be very emotional for you, but also very empowering and relieving. There is a sense of something coming to an end, and it's almost like a blessing in disguise as long as you move forward. Okay, as long as you move forward. It could actually have to do with like I said, with all that energy, with Saturn going direct, Neptune's going direct this month. They're both in um, Pisces, right? So you did get the moon ruled by Pisces, and the moon in tarot is ruled by Pisces. Interestingly enough, in astrology, the moon is ruled by Cancer, and we do have a full moon in Cancer at the end of the month, which is in your sixth house, okay? So that is work related matters, everyday activities. So you keep that in mind. But again, there is definitely something where it does look like it's not, it does look like it's something that happens to you. Sometimes like it's like you're the one who kicks over the cups. But I don't see that here. It is something that, like I said, the moon, very intuition based, very emotion based as well. You're that little crayfish. You've got to come on. You got to go between the towers. You have to face your fears now. You have to face like anything that's holding you back, which is again going to be a big thing. And I am getting an energy that you're going to do it anyway, especially with the retrograde, where you are going to feel this sense of empowerment. Remember, you have like the Queen of Wands in the heart of your spread. You are going to be recognized. So there could be even like, I'm not, it is very possible that you do get like a lot of fame and a lot of attention. And it's just something that you're just like, whoa, this was just a little bit more than I thought, because Venus in Scorpio, as I mentioned, is very intense. I mean, you could have some stands. There could be some standing for some Aquarians, but you did get the Ten of Swords after. Okay, interesting. It is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so sorry, I know I was like counting something in my head. The Ten of Swords. Now you see, you got the Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords, the Ten of Swords. All 3 Gemini cards, your BFF, by the way, fellow air sign. And that being a fellow air sign, you being an air sign, that's double air. That's like mental, like all in your head. That's the moon, like causing a lot of like, But know that, you see the dog and the wolf here. It's all about this evolution. That's what this card is. You have to go through these like emotional experiences, these intuitive experiences, this really going deep to evolve. Okay, so there is going to be some unrooting, the potential for that, but then you see that's going to end everything that you've been like about, that you've been wanting to just stop. Like, if there's something that like, it could have been like maybe an argument that you had, or there could have been like some sort of you just being like really down on yourself or doubting yourself too, coming to an end once you face any of those fears, or unroot things that are just like, I gotta leave this in the past, I can't dwell on this anymore. That's what the Ten of Swords is, especially because you see first, it's a very grim looking card, but you do see, one, this is the card of new dawn. And so those dark clouds are actually clearing for the sun to come through. Okay. And so remember, you have a lot of sun here. So it's already a great thing. 10 is the end. 1, 0 equals 1, which is a new beginning. And so you also see this man here, his hand is in the gesture as the Hierophant, okay? And as the same as the very philanthropic man in, the Six of Pentacles. And so it's like giving and blessings, and it's like I said, blessing in disguise. So, but it could be like the biggest blessing for you when you get out of your head and stop. If there is something that you're dwelling about, it makes you self-sabotage, makes you fear something or doubt yourself. It is time to, okay? Because once you learn from it, the key is to learn from everything that has been challenging for you, right? Which is something that you will be doing with the Six of Swords here, okay? Learn from those things so you never have to go through those experiences again, okay? Makes you a stronger person, makes you like it's like Aquarius 2.0, okay? So with that said, let's get to, let's break it down. Let's see what's going on for you, Aquarius, for every week in, January. Where's my head? And okay, so yeah, it's already affecting me. if for December. Okay, so the first week of December, it very, very big, eight major aspects, actually more than that. And so the first week of December, loaded, lots happening. I'm only going to tell you the key aspects. The first is that Mercury does enter Capricorn on the 1st. So this is very different from Mercury in Sagittarius. Mercury in Capricorn is like being a little bit more grounded now, thinking about long-term goals, being very strategic, being structured in the way that you think, okay? And even the way that you communicate. Remember, Mercury is the messenger planet, the planet of communication. So being like having a lot of logic in terms of, communicating and thinking about things. So it's very grounding. But again, remember, it's your 12th house. And so that can be going really deep to some of those places where you're not comfortable going sometimes. But there's a lot of other aspects happening this month that is going to be helpful for you. So, and again, it's all about unrooting things. And remember, you have the Queen of Wands, you have the Queen of Cups, you have the Knight of Cups. I mean, you're going to be like fine. You just have to believe it, okay? Because that would be that self-doubt that you don't believe that you will be fine. So trust me, you got the Fool. You're gonna be fine. And everything else here. Now, Venus squaring Pluto on the 3rd, really big thing. This day is all about money. This day is all about love. It's all about like power and control. Remember, this is Pluto at play. Pluto being in Capricorn, again, that's your 12th house. So this could be really deep for you. This could be a really deep day. Now, the reason why this is such an interesting day is because just the day after, this is when Venus actually does move into Scorpio. Now, as I mentioned, this is an intense placement. This is, but it's like passions. And when I say passions, intense passions, but to the point of where it's like all or nothing. That's what Venus in Scorpio wants. It wants commitment. It wants loyalty. It wants even authenticity. Okay. It's like there is this deep level of, commitment, especially like emotional connections, heightened intuition. Again, this will help you. Okay. But it could also be really intense for you as you do go deep and root things, especially, as we approach January and your birthday season. It's almost like there's a sense of you where there is something like where you want to go really deep because you don't want to bring it to 2024. You're like, I'm going to leave this in the past. So keep that in mind. Now, the reason why Venus square Pluto on the 3rd is big because Venus is entering Scorpio on the 4th. They're going to be there for most of the month. And then the day after, Venus trines Saturn. So you see how Venus is like really at play here. Venus trining Saturn, this is all about like stability. This is that commitment energy that Venus in Scorpio is requiring. And so what's really interesting about Venus squaring Pluto on the 3rd for y'all, it really is like, if you ever saw the movie The Proposal with Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock, it really is like that. They hated each other. Oh, they hated each other. I mean, it was like completely reciprocated, but then they fell in love. So that is something that may happen for a lot of Aquarians. They're going to be someone that you're like, I freaking hate this person, but you secretly like love them. And the feeling is mutual. And this is you going really deep in your 12th house, the subconscious, and like, why do I hate this person? I actually do love them. And it doesn't have to be limited to love. It can be career too. Remember, Venus in Scorpio is in your 10th house of career. And so it could be like, if you do have a boss that you just like loathe and the feeling is mutual, this may be the time where you actually see eye to eye on something. And then you become like besties, like BFFs, like Romy and Michelle. Like it's like, so just pay attention to this week. It is such an interesting week. Neptune will go direct on the 6th as well. And of course, there's a lot more aspects and, but those are the main ones. But there is, again, really big intensity and commitment that you may bring to like work and career. But, every Aquarius is different and it's going to affect every Aquarius differently. Everyone has a different rising, different birth chart. But let's see what's going on for you. Okay. Every Aquarius is going to be affected by this, but let's see what's going on for you, Aquarius, for the first week of December. Ooh, yeah. 10 of Wands. there is something for sure ending for you now. For sure. There's a lot of burden that comes with the Ten of Wands. A lot of like just really working hard. And you have the Ten of Swords in your final outcome. And so, yeah, there is a sense of like, this is a week where you may be, again, with Mercury going into Capricorn, there may be something that you're avoiding this week where you're like, but you know you have to face it. You have to face it. And you may be distracting yourself with work, okay? But then there is, you know, some Aquarians may just be working really hard, okay, toward your hopes and your wishes, because that's still a thing for you in Sagittarius season, okay? Just don't overwork, okay? You want to avoid burnout, all right, if you are working really hard. But again, it looks like remember, you have the Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles in your future, so there may be something where you're like, okay, I got to let this go. I'm working I can't do like, you know, I can't work 80 hours a week anymore. I got to do like 77 hours. Just kidding. 40, please. And so that is that Two of Pentacles energy where you like find that balance, that fine balance. All right. Remember, 10 is the end. Okay. So keep that in mind. 10 is the end. Now, the second week of December, I like the 11th, Mercury sextiling Venus. It's just like it's a fun, sexy day. Again, this can be something that has to do with like work for y'all. On the 12th is when we do have that new moon in Sagittarius. Now, one thing I'm going to address is that someone did leave a comment. And so new moons do happen every month. Okay. However, they happen in a different sign every month, meaning every new moon every month affects a different area of your life. But that's not the only thing you look at. You look at what aspects are happening too, and that adds flavor to the new moon. This new moon will be conjuncting Mars. So Mars in Sagittarius, this new moon in Sagittarius, all in your 11th house. So the 11th house, like I said, friends, your social network, even social media, if that's a thing for you, your LinkedIn community, groups you belong to, organizations you belong to. There could be something new that you join. There could be something with all this leadership energy that you start, okay? Again, you could start a heavy metal band if that's what you desire. You could start, you know, a book club for, people who love books that only have leprechauns in it. Whatever. You do you, Aquarius. You do you, okay? But it is a very, very big new moon with Mars conjuncting it. Mars, all about passion, drive, adding that, you know, fuel to your rocket ship. I mean, this is big. And again, the 11th house is not only that, it is also your hopes and wishes and your goals. So with that said, on the 13th is the day that Mercury does go retrograde in Capricorn. So at this point, you know, I did a video on Mercury retrogrades and what not to do during retrogrades and what to avoid. I'll leave it at the end of this video if you want to see it. But there are benefits to Mercury retrogrades too, which I talk about in that video. And it is, you know, a lot of people from your past can come back, but it is a window to the past. And so it is you reassessing things, reevaluating things. It is in your 12th house. So it is going to be for y'all, like on this deep level. But you do have Venus in Scorpio, which heightens your intuition. That's bringing this element of like strong intuition that really will guide you. So keep that in mind. It is going to be a thing. What's really interesting, just to let you know, just to give you an idea of like what this placement will do for you. New moon in Sagittarius, as I had mentioned, that is your social network. And then Mercury going retrograde in Capricorn, that is a lot of people from the past come back, or you see people from the past. Now, for me, I'm going on a trip that I used to go to like Mexico every year with friends before like, COVID or whatever. And it's my first time back that I'm going with a friend who I haven't seen in like 5 years. And so that could be a thing for you. So it is really big thing. And I know that I'm traveling during Mercury retrograde. We'll see what happens. But okay, let's see what's going on for you for the second week of December. You're good. Wow, this new moon is going to be big for you. This new moon is going to be big for you. It's going to be really big for you. I mean, you just got the Ten of Pentacles where it's raining pentacles in the form of the Tree of Life. I mean, this is completion. This is you coming down to your physical realm. This is prosperity, success. This is great. This is like speaking of abundance, you have the Nine of Pentacles in your future. Now you have the Ten of Pentacles in the second week. I mean, amazing. And have you noticed it's your third 10? So this is a month of conclusions for you. There is something coming to completion for you to start this brand new cycle that you want. Okay. But even still, there's a lot of family energy here. Remember, I said that's a big thing for you. You're going to feel it a lot more when Jupiter starts going direct. Okay. Home energy. You see the three family or the three generations of family here, the little child hidden. You can barely see him, but it's a lot of family energy, a lot of legacy energy here if you're not for family. So all this hard work, it's paying off. Just don't burn yourself out, okay? Don't work 77 hours a week. But you see that it's all paying off for you. And again, inheritance is highly associated with this card as well. Pentacles are your physical realm, as I mentioned. So it can be even like you receiving I don't know, that, you know, amazing tiara from the 14th century that's been like in your family's generations for, you know, hundreds of years. But or, you know, just that toaster oven that you know your mom has and she's moving and you're like, I really want that, whatever it is. But there is this sense of like inheritance, but also it can be something in a physical realm, in your physical realm, other than money. But you see this card, the harvest is still here. You see how big the castle is. You see how comfortable the family is. Like, you're good. You're good. The second week is going to be magical. Now, the third week, Aquarius. I like Mercury trining Jupiter on the 18th. This is really, really nice. We'll talk about it more in the weekly. This is like a week where you may see a lot more friends from the past come up. It could be through like your social media. Again, that is a thing. They, you know, like a high school friend could like one of your posts, someone that you haven't, and then you reconnect, or, you know, work related as well. But 21st, we officially enter Capricorn season. So now we're talking like long-term goals. Now we're rolling up our sleeves. Now we're getting like busy, like with that, being a lot more grounded. And so this is the same day as the winter solstice. Happy winter in the northern hemisphere and summer in the southern hemisphere. And then on the 22nd, we have Sun conjunct Mercury. So we have this brilliant Cazimi. Now this is where it gets interesting. This is when Mercury goes into Sagittarius, and Mercury's now retrograde in Sagittarius. So this is now you reassessing and rethinking and reevaluating a lot of things that have to do with your hopes and wishes, a lot of things that have to do with like even your social network, or maybe that, like, you know, heavy metal band that you started. But this is a big week. Sun sextiling Saturn on the 24th. This is, I'll talk about that more later, but, you know, we'll obviously go into this in the weekly readings. But let's see what's going on for you for the third week of December. You're good. I mean, this is just, I can't even. This is just like, you know what? It's really just accepting that flow, that balance, you know, that harmony in your life, and just knowing that everything's going to happen for you. So it's almost like at this point, you do reach this point where it's like, okay, you know, I've gone through a lot. I'm really digging deep, but now I'm in a good place. I'm patient. I know that the things that I want are happening for me now. So I'm just kicking back. I'm relaxing. The other interesting thing, which I really love, is that Temperance is Sagittarius. And so remember, we're coming after that new moon in Sagittarius. We're coming after Sagittarius season. I mean, come on, this is big. This is big. And remember, Sagittarius is your 11th house of your hopes and wishes, but also like your friends and groups you belong to, that heavy metal band that you started. So I really love this. A lot of intuitive energy too, again, is coming through. Opening up, like, yeah, actually, you know, I'm going to show you here too. You see the sun on the archangel's forehead, okay, right on the pineal gland, intuition. So remember, you, like, I love the fact that the sun, you even see the sun in the shape of a crown in the background here. So yeah, really moving toward that sun. and you have a big spotlight on you this month. Now, last week of January, oh gosh. Oh man, Aquarius. You could probably even see my bed head. Like, it's early. Last week of December, the 25th, Venus is trining Neptune. I really love this. It's a beautiful day. It's very imaginative. Like, you'll feel like really compassionate. But just with this coming the day after Sun sextiling Saturn, I like these 2 days together because on the 26th, we have the full moon in Cancer. And so it's around this time that I personally believe that you will start thinking about New Year's resolutions or making them. If you do that, rather than like the end of the year, I feel like this is when you're going to actually make them or start them. Now, the full moon in Cancer, like I said, is in your 6th house. And I love this full moon in Cancer. We'll talk about it more. You know, the moon is, like I said, ruled by Cancer. But we'll talk about more in the weekly reading. But that, you know, full moons do bring completion. Now, just one heads up about this full moon is that Mercury will square Neptune. So, with that said, remember, Mercury is retrograde and Neptune went direct, and Neptune can bring like illusion. So this is a day where things can be a little foggy and maybe a little confusing, but this full moon obviously has like stronger energy and lasts longer than this aspect of Mercury squaring Neptune that is only like a day or two. Like you just may feel it around that time. But do you see how crazy this week is because everything, all the days I just mentioned, but then we get to the 27th when the sun trines Jupiter. So the sun trining Jupiter, the best day of the month, luck, growth, prosperity, it's happening right after the day after the full moon in Cancer. And on the 27th, the day the sun trines Jupiter, Mercury will conjunct Mars. This is like Einstein energy, like in terms of clarity and intellect. Like, this is huge. And then on the 29th, Venus leaves Scorpio and moves into Sagittarius, your 11th house of your hopes and wishes. And so everything is kind of like lining up for you. It's like, here's a platter, like for January. But like, again, we'll talk about that more later. Jupiter officially goes direct on the 30th. Can I get a, hey, yeah, wonderful? No? All right, Aquarius, I'll try next time. On the 31st, New Year's Eve. This is amazing. We have this beautiful Earth trine. We have this absolutely beautiful Earth trine. I really like this one. And there is going to be, definitely go out. It's a great day to go out for New Year's Eve, but there's a lot that, just feeling really grounded. There's a sense of comfort that comes on this day. Again, we'll talk about it more later in the weeklies, but let's go ahead and get started and see what you can expect for the last week of December. Two of Wands. Planning your next. I love this. Okay, so you're good. You're absolutely good. I really love this for you. The Two of Wands really is all about, you see, he does have the world in his hand, standing at the highest point in the castle. So really just like, you've conquered stuff. You've conquered the world. You've made accomplishments, and now it's like, what's next? What's next? As during the week where it is like holiday season, right? And it is like where you have this time where people do make New Year's resolutions. So how fitting is that you get the Two of Wands for the last week? So remember, it's all about taking action, though. Taking action, a lot of completion. You got 3 10s, which is definitely rare. It has not happened a lot. 3 out of 4 10s. So 10 again is completion. So you can definitely expect something to end as you begin this, new thing in your life, or just being in this new place in your life. But hey, Queen of Wands in the heart of your spread, 9 of Wands in your future. Or sorry, 9 of Pentacles. You have the 10 of Pentacles. But you have these 3 10s, which is standing out more for me. So just remember, don't look at the past, look at the future, okay? You are the future. That's what Aquarius is, okay? Aquarius. Anyway, you're the best, Aquarius. Team Aquarius, thanks so much. If you like this reading, it would be great. If you like, subscribe, leave comments. Let me know what's happening. I can't believe I've talked this long. Oh my gosh, I went over an hour. Okay, Aquarius, thanks so much. I will see you next week. Bye.